The game might be over, but we're just getting started. Welcome to the Todd Fox Postgame Podcast, your go-to spot for real, unfiltered Angels talk, win or lose, on the Halos in the Infield Network. You never know what's going to happen. Walk-offs, meltdowns, heroics, or straight-up typical Angels disasters. We're breaking it all down. Who stepped up and took home the Golden Stamos, the most prestigious award in baseball? And who embarrassed themselves so badly they're stuck with the dreaded Nacho Night Award? Drop your comments, call in, and sound off. We're reading them all. So like, share, subscribe, and buckle up, because this show pulls no punches. And yes, Anthony Rendon is still a fragile little bitch. Take it away, Todd.
I'm a fox. My name's Todd.
Hello? Did he go? Okay, hey, how's it going, everybody? Hey, welcome into the Halos in the Infield Postgame Show with your host, Todd Fox, as we start off a Thursday evening. I'm a little late to the party tonight because I was at the game. I'm one of those that goes to the game. I'm not one that doesn't go to the game, as the Angels win tonight. And you're watching the postgame show here with myself and all of you in the chats on various different, sites. But with that being said, it's for the fans, by the fans, for the fans, by the fans, by the fans, for the fans, however you want to do it. But we do it for you because we're fans just like you. And the Angels win tonight. They salvage a game. I know it feels good in a way. It was a nice win. We played the Stukas right off the bat. Thank you, Randy. But, if you feel a little dirty because you feel like, man, where was this offense? There's a lot to talk about tonight. The Angels needed this win desperately. You did not want to go on a road trip, which it's a short 5-game series or 5-game road trip with Minnesota and Seattle and then right back here at home. But you just didn't want to lose this game and get swept by the lowly Pirates, who fall to now 10-16 on the season. The Angels claw their way back to 12-12.
Wow, winning.
Wow, winning indeed, Charlie. But the Angels win on 4 runs on 6 hits to Pittsburgh's 3 runs on 9 hits. So the Pirates, they combined in this series to have hit 38 hits. 38 hits against the Angels in 3 games, while the Angels mustered a robust, 5, I got to do the math, 7, 13 hits. So they were out hit 38 to 13. Yes, the Deo. I lost a bet with Jim, who I was sitting with most of the game. The Deo count was up there, and it finished with 14 Deos. So he picked the over, and he won on that. I picked 13, but the Angels win 4-3. This one didn't start out good, and you were thinking, "Oh crap, we're well on our way to another loss." Shout out to Ryu online. I got to meet him. He came by. A shout out to Joshua, and I believe that's his nephew. They were pretty cool people. We talked for a few innings, and Fernando, my boy, was there. I was wearing my Gold Angels jersey, so we had a good time tonight. I think that broke the jinx. So, as we look at things, the lineup tonight, Zephyr John in relief gets the win. Stugart pitched for his 3rd straight game. Imagine that, right? And Kelly Jansen came in for a 6th save. He is still not to allow a run. The Angels left 4 men on base, so it's not like they had traffic all over the bases. You had the Pirates leaving 7 men on base. They went 1 for 5. The Angels went 1 for 4. But this game didn't start out good. Onel Cruz on the first pitch of the goddamn game hits a solo home run. Then the Pirates would get a runner on base. And really in that first inning, the Pirates had 1st and 3rd, and they hit a ground ball, which Renifo kind of backed up on instead of charging. I think had he charged it and then threw to second, and then they turned the 2 with Paris, or Neto, that's an easy double play, and that gets you out of the inning with 1. But unfortunately, they tried to turn the double play. It didn't work. That allowed the run. It was 2-0 right there, Pirates. And then Gorski. Yes, Gorski, his first at bat in the major leagues. He hits a solo blast to make it 3-0. And I thought, before I get any further in the game, when he hit the home run, the kid caught it. And we immediately saw the Pirate players, waving their hats. They're saying, hey, like this, like, give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball. And it was his first hit. So the kid, to his credit, didn't say, oh, no, I want a bat, I want this or that. He just threw the ball right back to him. And right away, they tipped their cap to him and everything else like that. And then one of the pitchers said, hey, and he brought all the Pirate pitchers together, and they were autographing a ball. They all put their autograph on a ball and probably wrote him something really nice. And then they picked out a brand new ball, and they went over to the usher, and they gave the usher the 2 balls, and they walked it up to the guy, and the kid got it. I thought that was the coolest thing. And they waved at him, and they said, hey, man, thank you. And that was really cool, because he could have been a dick and held the ball, but he threw it back, didn't care. And I'm surprised they didn't give him a bat too. But I thought that was really cool by the Pirates. At that particular point in the game, because we're sitting right there, right where it happened, I'm thinking, damn, dude, this is just, it doesn't look like it's Tyler Anderson's night, because he almost had 60 pitches through 3 innings. I was not expecting him to make it into the 6th inning. And guess what? Quality start again, but he gets the no decision. 56 out of his 89 pitches were for strikes. He lowers his ERA down to 2.60. The key for him lasting 6 innings was no walks. No walks for him. He only had the 1 strikeout, the 2 home runs. Other than that, the bullpen did its job. Ryan Johnson came in there. He's been lights out lately. Zephyr John's been lights out. And then Kelly Jansen's Kelly Jansen. So the Angels struck out 5 guys, and then the Angels only struck out 7 as a team. Their lineup went like this. Jorge Soler, the experiment at leadoff, is continuing to struggle. 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, non-factor. Zach Neto, 3 for 4 and a home run. You had Mike Trout, 1 for 4. He had a triple. But let's just be honest, if the outfielder makes that play, he does nothing the rest of the night. But the only good thing about it, he got robbed of a hit and he didn't strike out. Taylor Ward went 1 for 4. He almost hit a home run, but he got an RBI single. We'll take that. Logan O'Hoppe had a 2-run home run and his only hit. Sean O'Well went 0 for 3 tonight. Louis Renifo went 0 for 3. Joe Adell went 0 for 2. And Kyron Paris went 0 for 3. He's now 1 for his last 26. He lowers his average. I mean, remember when this guy's average was 488? It's down to 246 currently. So he's fitting in with the rest of the Angels on this lineup right now. Logan O'Hoppe's got the high market. Yes, Logan O'Hoppe's got the high market 282. But think about this. I mean, the Angels won with the last 4 guys in their lineup combined 0 for 11. And then if you count Soler flipping the lineup, 0 for 15. So spots 6 through 1 went 0 for 15 with 6 of those strikeouts of the 7. So you're not looking at this game. And there was, EQ texted me and said, hey, on the post game, they were talking about Neto. And he said that they had a kind of a meeting today. It's like, what, didn't really inspire much. I mean, they only had 4 runs on 6 hits. They were saying, he gave the, typical company man type speech. He was like, well, these guys have been working on stuff and the offense needs to, do this and that. And we've changed up. We're listening to them, blah, blah, blah. It was all coach speak. I don't think anything productive came from it because it was the same non-adjustments, the same at bats. Gooey says over there on TikTok, bro, how do we lose a series to the Pirates? They didn't hit. They didn't hit at all. The pitching was good enough to win all 3 games, and they just did not hit in this series against the Pirates. So went to the game tonight, wearing my Gold Angels jersey, very happy about the victory. But, as much as you lose a series to the Pirates, you feel down about that. It even gets worse when you read between the lines because it came out that this game was supposed to be a day game, of course. It was supposed to be a getaway game. It only makes sense. We have a game tomorrow, 6 o'clock Central, 4 o'clock Pacific. So you would want the Angels to be in Minnesota sometime around midnight or a little bit earlier, which is what would have happened had they kept this game at a 1 o'clock start, a workman's getaway day, right? Middle of the week. But the problem is Artie Moreno saw green and he said, you know what? I need to have this game be played at a night game. Paul Skeens could possibly pitch, but it backfired on him. Skeens pitches tomorrow against the Dodgers. And, well, what happened tonight is the Angels are screwed because now they are still probably not to the airport. They're probably not going to be able to take off till about 11 or 12 at night, maybe. That's if everything goes good with the luggage. It could go as late as 1 o'clock. And then you fly to Minnesota. You're going to get there at about 5 or 6 in the morning for a game that's played early in the evening in Minnesota, but you're still on California time. And how
They should already be there, technically.
Absolutely. They should already be there, Randy, except what happened now because Artie was chasing the green. And I was talking with Fernando, who was at the game with me, by the way. It was great to be in attendance with him there. But he was telling me, man, you could probably get the same kind of crowd that you got tonight for the Wednesday game, even with Paul Skeens. It wouldn't have been a sellout anyway. So the whole gamble by Artie did not pay off. All it did was piss off his players. These guys are going to be super tired. And again, how many of you can sleep on a goddamn plane? You know, there's not too many of us that can. And these guys are going to fly over there. And like we always laugh about that flight from last year from Seattle, and they were like, hey, these guys, they couldn't perform because they were tired. And we were like, bullshit. But now if they come out tomorrow and they get, just killed by the Twins and they say, hey, the guys were tired, I'm gonna be like, well, yeah, they got a point. It sounds legit because again, you're going to get in there. You have to, check all your shit in, unpack all your stuff. By the time you get off the bus, get to the hotel, do all the unpacking, try to get some sleep, you're probably looking at 7, 8 in the morning. That's if you don't want to eat before you go to bed. And then so it could be 9, 10 o'clock. And then you've got about maybe 2-3 hours of sleep. Then you got to go to the ballpark, get dressed up, put your stuff in the lockers, or, start fielding, start doing some practice. I doubt they're watching tape, but, do your your routine. And that's going to be hard for some of these guys to do. So it could be a whole damn thing. The only funny and ironic thing would be is if the Angels came out with 0 sleep and kicked the shit out of the Twins. But I don't see that happening. I think they're going to be tired tomorrow, and it's going to show. The smart thing would have been to send the starting pitcher, over first. Send that dude over so he can get enough sleep.
But wouldn't that be the most Angel thing ever? No sleep, go out there and kick some ass, well rested, get your ass kicked.
That would be, dude. That'd be the most Angel thing to happen. But that's what they're facing right now is no sleep. And flying over there trying to get all set up. And then Ron was already on the post game going, well, I'm gonna have to try to get some sleep. I'm gonna go to sleep at least. The way it's set up is we're supposed to be at the hotel at 6 in the morning. So he's already anticipating 6 in the morning in Minnesota. So we'll see, man. I haven't even looked at the weather, Randy, and the game tonight in Minnesota, I believe it was Detroit in Minnesota, or maybe it was somebody else in Minnesota, but it was rained out in the 7th inning. Oh, it was Chicago in Minnesota. And Chicago beat him 3-0 in 7 innings. So they had to call the game because of rain. So I don't even know what the weather is going to be this weekend.
Yeah, it looks like it's raining. It looks like it's in the 40s.
Yeah, so it's going to be cold. And you know how it is, Randy, being in that type of weather before. I think you've been up in Oregon before. And you do any kind of work or whatever, you want to get some sleep in the rain and that kind of cold weather. So these guys are going to be tired, bro.
Oh, for sure.
So that's another thing they're facing today. So I think more than anything, the Angels getting the win tonight was huge because, again, you didn't want to go over it because even if they drop tomorrow's game and they're kind of going through the motions, we have an understanding why. There's a legitimate excuse. But then Saturday and Sunday, I hope they regroup. You know what I mean? Like they should regroup, even though the schedule didn't do them any favors, Randy. Saturday and Sunday. Saturday's game's at 11 a.m. start here, so it's a 1 o'clock over there. And then Sunday's a 10:30 start in the morning. So
Jeez.
I mean, not that Minnesota's a party town or nothing or a party city, but there's going to be no nightlife on this road trip from what at least until they get to Seattle.
Well, they don't need any nightlife. They just need night.
Yeah, they need some Mimi's time. That's for sure. But the Angels win tonight. And, look, it was a good game. If you were in attendance like we were, 4-3, you got the home run. I mean, look, since the second inning, they put up straight zeros. So that was nice to see. Again, the Pirates were pesky. The Pirates were pesky. They had a couple opportunities. They had a second and third with one out, and the Angels pitched out of that jam. So they had their chances, but the Angels were able to bear down when they had to. So that's why I'm telling you guys and gals out there, the Angels, at least pitching-wise, look like they prepare for these hitters for the most part. Defensively, you had some lapses out there. The bad route to the ball by Joe Adell in center field early in the game. You had Kyron Paris, who was trying to make an over-the-shoulder catch and fight the lights at the same time when he should have just backed off and let Trout run up and get that one. So, I mean, Trout had a clear, better angle on that one in the ninth inning, but it didn't cost him. So that's the good part about it. But errors like that, this team can't afford to have. So if they can work on that, I know they will. Defensively, I think they have the coaching to take care of it. I think pitching-wise with Barry Enright and others, they're getting the pitchers prepared. I mean, look, you saw the adjustments tonight. Anderson was trying different pitches early on that weren't working. And then they went to something else that just calmed everything down. They went to a different regimen, and he was lights out the rest of the way. And they were able to attack the Pirates differently moving forward. So that part worked. The Angels getting those home runs late. Okay, I think Neto's came on a bad pitch, but for the most part, they got those 3 runs. The Pirates readjusted to what the Angels were trying to do, and they shut them down. So it was kind of a stalemate until someone got that home run. That was just a pure clutch home run by Zach Neto. But other than that, I'm not impressed with the hitting at all again. I think again, the defense was there. The pitching was there. But you're not going to win consistently if you're not getting on base, if you're not pressuring, any kind of you're not putting guys on base. You're not running. You're not doing hit and runs. We're not stealing bases. Remember, the whole thing was steal bases. You get those 2 throws over to first, take off. Stuff like that we're not doing, and that kind of stuff generates offense. We're still not working walks, which is alarming. Again, you're not working walks you only got you only got 1 walk again.
But you know what, dude? If I can just interject real quick, and we talk about this all the time with this fucking team. But you know what? The minute they fucking get this hitting situation fucking figured out, the pitching and the defense is just gonna fall right apart. It's never on the same fucking page at the same fucking time ever with this team, dude. Like we preach, but what I want to see is everything on the same page at the same time, because we can get the hitting down as much as we want, but as soon as we do, we know exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah, that's the thing that's scary. I want to see a different mindset for this team. So if we can go against your grain that you set up, because it has been the norm, dude, that has been the thing. One thing goes good, one thing falls apart. So I see your point. I'm just hoping that this year's different. If the hitting can get going, then we can get some more W's under our belt. Gooey wants to ask real quick, where do we do our podcast? You can find it anywhere, man. Just look up Halos in the Infield on YouTube. Look it up on Spotify. We're on Apple iTunes. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, you'll likely find us. Yeah, this is the hitters are finding ways to make the other teams better. But at least if you can mix it up a little bit, if you could play a little bit better hitting wise, score more runs. Because again, you scored 4 tonight. 4 is the major league average right now. It's like 4.1, 4.2 runs per game, which is still average to low for supposedly a hitter-friendly league. But the pitching's been much better down the line on every other team. So you have the good team scoring 6 to 7 runs per game or close to that, or at least 5. But yeah, this is, like some of you guys on TikTok, I'm going to get over to the what is it called? I'm going to get over to the other stuff here on YouTube, the comments here in a second. But just to get through a couple of theirs, small ball wins games like in 2002. Fans always think about that because And even in 09, when we were talking about the Bobby Abreu teams, the Sean Figgins, Eric Ibar, people like that, those guys had high averages, high on base, working walks, getting singles, bunting. That little ball works. And again, the Pirates, other than the 2 home runs they hit tonight, I think the only other home run was a Cruz shot and then also a McCutchen homer. But they scored a lot of runs and got a ton of hits, and we're putting a ton of pressure on Angels pitching all series long.
It was like that always under Socha. I don't think he ever had a team where he had just a bunch of big time, like a White Sox team from back in the day where just a bunch of fucking smashers and shit.
Yeah, Socha always had a very, very good, I would say, balanced hitting team. He had your Tim Salmon that had like 30 homers. He had Troy Gloss that would sometimes break open 40, or he was in his 30s. He had, Garrett Anderson about mid-20s. Erstad would hit about 15 to 20. And then the rest of the guys were just chipping in like 300 averages or 290. Even like if you remember, like a Juan Rivera was like a 20 and 68 type guy, but he would hit for average. He'd hit like 281.
He'd get on base.
Yeah, he would get on base. He would find a way. He would walk too. He was very underrated as a guy who saw a lot of pitches.
Defense kind of sucked, but yeah, like I loved his offense.
Yeah, defensively, yeah, he was. I would say he minus the best, bro. but he could hit, man, and he had a good eye.
Yeah,
and I think one of my favorite dudes is Bobby Abreu. When he came here, I wish he was here a lot longer or earlier. Guy was a solid hitter, and he would make a great
hitting coach.
Absolutely. Dad Bat says, "What's up, bro? Big fan. Appreciate that. Keep the hearts coming over there." Let's give out the awards, shall we, tonight? We played Stukas. We'll probably play that again before we get out of here. Chensky says Bobby was a hitting machine. Who got the player of the game? The John Stamos Award for best player on the field goes to?
Presented by the Dugout.
There you go. The John Stamos Award for best player on the field tonight in the game, presented by OC Dugout. Buy, sell, and trade. Anything you like, sports memorabilia, they've got it, and they will give you a discount by mentioning Halos in the infield. The home run hitting machine, Zach Neto, 3 for 4 tonight, including the big solo blast to put the game away. He is your player of the game tonight. Way to go, Zach Neto. Now, who was Nacho Night? Presented to you by Brewheim. Brewheim Beer, just mentioned HITI, and get 10% off your pints over at Brewheim. And come check us out May 10th for a tailgate again. Tailgate number 2 against the
Nacho Night, oh yeah, Nacho Night. Pile it up, load it high. Extra shame, hold the pride. Grab a fork, take a dive. Dignity's gone, but the cheese survived. Moldy cheese, stale chips, what a sight. All your dreams gone tonight. Had a bad night, lost the fight. No more crunch, just take a bite. It's the Nacho Night Award.
This one's kind of hard, Randy. There wasn't really a huge, the Angels had some 0 for 3s, but they didn't have any 3 strikeouts, hat tricks, none of that kind of stuff with the golden sombrero. You didn't have nothing that just stands out. Even Stugart's been pitching good for the Pirates, giving up that home run to Neto. That only bumped his ERA to 1.86. The guy who had a 14 or 32 ERA dropped it to 14 after pitching 2 innings for the Pirates. No one on the Angels really pitched all that bad to get the Nacho Night. So it's not glaring, but I will say one guy, I would have to say that he kind of messed up. Even though he had an RBI, he's only batting .216. He had 2 chances to get RBIs in this game to either push the Pirates ahead or give them the win, and he kind of screwed up, and that's the second generation Ke'Bryan Hayes, the third baseman, Ke'Bryan Hayes. He went 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position in a 1-run game. So I will give him the nachos barely because I'm trying to find someone that stood out as far as being just asked tonight, but there's not really anyone that did for me. So I will give it to Hayes, I guess, out of frustration not finding anyone that was all that bad tonight. But there you go for the awards for tonight. Randy, let's get through some comments, shall we? If we can here. As the Angels get the win. Super sticker by Boo Bear's mommy. She continues to be the MVP of this channel. I'm going to have to send you a shirt or two. David sends in $10. We appreciate you as well. Also, Tyler chipping in with $5. He says, I'm vibing. Also, David, another $10. I really appreciate that, man. Really appreciate all the help. Boo Bear's mommy sends in $19. Good God. We're making some money tonight. That's going to help the page going on for these tailgates. And then Mateo says, you know what, dude? We need to toast with a botanical spritz, baby.
Spritz o'clock, Angels play. Win or lose, we toast today. Sip and cheer, no matter score. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more. Spritz o'clock, let's pour some more.
You know, two things real quick, Randy, I have to mention before you play the underdog thing, dude. So they were panning around the crowd, and there was this fan that opened up his jersey when they got him on there doing the dance, and it said "Sell the team Artie" in plain letters, dude, and everybody started to cheer, and they took the camera off that dude real quick.
Really?
Yeah, that was cool, man. That was really cool.
God, too bad it couldn't be one of us.
I know, right? That would have been so awesome. And then I have to mention on that slide right now with the spritz o'clock, I didn't notice that at first, bro, but I finally, after all the times we played it so far, I didn't realize the can said 54.5% alcohol. Like, God damn, that's strong.
You got to be drunk as shit to watch this ball club, baby. Come on.
No wonder why Artie gets so messed up. God damn. 54%. Stezio says they will not be panning into the crowd anymore. That's probably true because that wasn't one of our sell the team shirts. We had sell the team shirts from last year. This one, it looked like an Angels shirt, but it had the halo on it. It was blue with a red lettering. So that was pretty cool. So let's play that underdog real quick promo.
Hey, Todd, what are you looking at?
Looking at the Underdog app sponsored by Halos in the Infield. Actually, you can punch in HITI and get the promo code 20% earnings on your first bet via Underdog, the app. And also, they match 50% up to $1,000 winnings if you place bets. You could put them on players. You could put it on teams. It's a nightly thing. It's so easy to play, but also gamble responsibly. All because of Halos in the Infield and Underdog, the app.
All right, let's do some more comments here. And of course, me love you long time. Boy, they're playing everything.
We gotta get the big ones out of the way.
You gotta.
There's a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight, which makes me so horny. And me love you long time.
Good old Rodger Lodge. Tony C says we had a better game out there. Soler, but get Soler out of the leadoff spot already. He has struck out 7 times, but we gave no free passes to the Pirates. Johnny W. still needs to be fired. Trout is having a hard time out there. Absolutely. LV says, is it safe to start honking again? No, we need a winning streak first. Useless Trucker says it could be worse. Colorado is expected to win only 30 games. That can't be true, man. Jesus is nice of the team avoiding the embarrassment of not getting swept. Exactly. With the smallest crowd. Todd went to the game, huh? Fuck, the season starts tonight. Hell yeah. It always starts tonight,
We
baby.
got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
There you go. Also, next comment here.
Hold on. There we go.
Rally Chris says, what the fuck? We actually won. Now we're finishing a strong. We have to finish strong April with a winning record. Absolutely. Jesus says, sure, they won, but the groundskeepers from the movie Major League, they're still shitty. They sure
Can you
are.
say it in their language?
No, I can't. Dan Rio says, hey, we're 500 again and lock up 4th place. Hey.
And you know what that means?
We're so back.
We're so back, baby.
Also, we won. Wasn't there? You're welcome. Boo Boo Bear's mom.
Stop.
I know. Don't do that. Don't do that. Useless Trucker says these low hit games with lots of strikeouts are really hard to watch. I find myself falling asleep. It is true. You're not getting guys on base. It's kind of shitty. Boo Boo Bear's mommy says, how do you think we will do on this road trip this weekend? I'll give you my honest opinion. Only in Minnesota right now, I say 1-3. I'm hoping 2-3. But I'm not seeing us win that opener tomorrow. I just don't. I mean, it'll be amazing if they did. Useless Trucker says the Angels batting average for tonight's game is only 193. It sounds legit. Dan Rio says the Twins are struggling, so Minnesota has a chance. Boo Bear's mommy says, all right, Todd is going to spritz all over the microphone. Ew, maybe so. Tyler says Randy must be watching Golden Girls. He's always.
Thank you for being a friend.
How dare you?
David says, Todd, when are you going to have a watch party? And we're great shows as always. Thank you. We are actually going to have a watch party for that Marlins series. So I think it's around the 23rd or 24th. It's the second homestand coming up after that Baltimore homestand. We're going to do the same spot at Brewheim, but we're going to do the watch party, starting about maybe around 6. Yeah, about 5:30. 5:30 we'll start, do a pregame show, and then we'll go into the telecast. Turn down your TVs and radios and watch us. There you go. Wilbur says, I'm the sell the team Artie guy shirt who got on the oh, you did. Hell yeah,
no
Wilbur.
shit.
Hell yeah.
Wilbur. I bow to you, good sir.
You are the man. You are the man, Wilbur,
Fuck
because dude, Randy, I met
Buy this guy a beer.
I met this dude at a game last year. Cool as fuck.
Oh, he sounds fucking cool as fuck.
Yeah, he's cool. I didn't realize that was you, man. Oh, that is so cool.
Man, badass. Thank you, Wilbur.
Everybody
buy this man a beer if you see him in attendance.
Hell yeah, dude. And not only that, after they took him off the TV, our section was chanting sell the team, and it was led by Fernando. So
fuck yeah.
You're the man. Nas says, did you hear about the pirate that bought himself a pair of earrings for $2? That's not bad for a Buccaneer. Too many of you guys are friends with Grillmaster, I think. Saucy says, I don't care what anybody says. Kelly Jansen is the captain of this fucking team. That guy is a goddamn beast. He sure is. Useless Trucker says Todd needs to go with a scarier clown look. Maybe that some contact lenses that are cat eyes. I don't want to really scare
Useless
the kid.
Trucker hates women and kids confirmed.
David says, Todd, what's your take on bringing Caden Dana back up? Good move or bad move? I say bad right now. I would give him at least a half season down in the minors, and I need to see that he can control his stuff. He could pinpoint his fastball a little bit better because he's got major league stuff. He just needs to find the location. Sapphire says, man, this team still sucks, though. Also, I was at the game tonight. Oh, I didn't know that. And this could have easily been a day game. Now the team is going to land at 6 a.m. Minnesota time because we are hoping to get a few extra money on the Skeens type thing. Cat Eyes Jansen would be tight eastbound and down vibes. That would be cool. David said, Todd, would a managerial change at this point do this team any good? No, it wouldn't, I don't think. I think you have to wait till later in the season to see where that goes. It depends on how bad the team goes and how much the Angels brass thinks this team should be. If they're way off of what they anticipated them to be, then yeah, you fire the manager. But I think it's a little too early to be doing that. I think you could fire the hitting coaches because that would send a message like, hey, you're next on the chopping block. Get your shit together.
Imagine having a manager for 20 fucking years, and then after that, going through them like you do panties. Jesus Christ.
That is true, Randy, because there was a time where the Angels were just changing managers year after year, and till they got to Soch. And I think a lot of us took Soch for granted, including myself.
Now we're back to doing it all over again.
Yep, we sure are.
Hey, look at us.
Rally Chris has given us an update about the games tonight. So Texas lost. Todd, would you be what would you be your pick as the most poorly run organization in the MLB? The Rockies, hands down. Pirates have had some success. Rockies have just been a dumpster fire over and over and over, but the Angels aren't too far ahead of the Pirates and Rockies, but I'd say the Rockies at this point. Gooey over there on TikTok says Wash needs time to develop the team and culture. Sassy Classy, how you doing, baby? She says light that baby up, and it's already good. It's already improving with the morale. Q Lombardi, Trout making a diving catch tonight. Exactly. Yusuf Trucker says Trout out tomorrow. Something doesn't feel right. I haven't felt right since the diving catch. Oh, don't go there. David says about Mike Trout, love that dude for what he's meant to the team, but don't you think clearly needs a change of scenery? We've said that for a couple years, but the Angels aren't trying to do that, and he's not trying to leave as well. It's going to have to be a marriage that continues to go through the whole marriage counseling, and we'll see if we can get this thing to work. But for right now, I mean, at least he's staying healthy. Hey, live by the homer. Sometimes it works. Sometimes you look like shit. 10 out of 11. Exactly. Until they get to a more balanced hitting approach, we're going to have a few peaks and a ton of valleys. Trout needs to be kept off the outfield. I agree. I think he's better served as a DH. And Soler is really an underrated outfielder. Holy cow, he won. Q Angels in the outfield. Let's see. Where is that one again? I always lose track of that one. I think it's towards the bottom. I think. Yes.
We won?
Wilbur says, did anyone see the game? It was John Carpino's birthday. Can't believe they put that shit on the screen as long as they did. That's true. That's another good point by my boy Wilbur right there, because you know, you have to pay if you go online. It's like $50 to $80 to get your name up there under other names. And it's only shown for like 10 seconds. And then homeboy, John Carpino was plastered all over the Jumbotron for what felt like 2 minutes. So
he's hanging out with Artie. He's probably really plastered. All right.
Oh yeah. They were fucked up in the third inning. That's for sure. Juan says the season starts today, baby. Because we got a lot of baseball left to be played.
We got a lot of baseball left to be played, and the season starts tonight.
Might as well stay on that page because Grillmaster wants a little bit of balls and balls.
Time for you to check out what I want. I want balls and John Stamos.
Balls in his mouth. Also, Gooey says, I pray Rendon never comes back. Well, you might get that. Neto winning the game. Q Halo honk after the solo home run. When we go to Minnesota, have to be in it to win it. Oh, my God.
I had to.
Next one. God. Light that baby up, and the Angels need to send Kevin Newman down to AAA and call up Christian Moore.
Christian Moore looking pretty good.
Yeah, Christian Moore's not looking that great right now, and Newman has no options. So Don Hammond says they barely escaped this series. That's sad. At home, too. Useless Trucker says this win is going to an outhouse. Feels good, but don't tell anyone, or it's like going to an outhouse. Athletics walked off the Rangers. By the way, real quick, the fact that, you know, I'm actually, you know how the Pirates came into town? We get one shot at the Reds this year. And I don't know about you, Randy, but I've remembered the last 2 seasons playing the Reds. Last year getting swept in Cincinnati. The year before that getting swept at home. For some reason, the Reds have our number. I know I'm bringing this up randomly, but I want to beat the shit out of the Reds. I think we play them here. So
don't they kind of suck?
Yeah, they're not all that great. They just got a new manager. I think they got Terry Francona. So
shit.
They might be better this year. I don't know.
Terry's still managing?
Yeah, he left the Ohio shitfucks and he went over to Cincinnati.
Dude, I don't know why I thought he retired.
I thought he did too, and then I saw that he took over the job. I'm like, wow, okay. Interesting.
All right, I lost my place. Oh, here we go. Hold on.
They put up 24 runs, Gooey said the other day. Why, will you stop with these jokes? Why are the Pirates called the Pirates? Because they are. Jesus Christ. Josh says, not surprised. I know the Gorski family. In fact, the sister graduated in 2015. The Gorski family is very classy. That's pretty cool. Todd, did you forget about the Trout triple? I did, but still. Let's see. Also, and the Trout triple was is now an 800th career hit at Angel Stadium. Only GA has more career hits. He should have been way past GA at this point. Hold on, I had to see the translation on this. Oh my God, love that. Don says, "Wow, that's really nice to see how understanding the kid was, and the nice gesture from the pitchers as well." Yeah, it was pretty cool, Don. I thought that was a nice moment right there.
Hello, sweetheart.
Yeah, it was. Gooey says that's a sick hat. Where's that from? Oh, it's the copper edition. It's actually a copper color. On the side, it has the patch and whatnot. It's pretty cool, like the All-Star thing. It's pretty cool. Joshua says they're flying out of LAX tonight on Southwest. Good luck with that. At least they're not flying. Was a Spirit. Lopez is pitching for the Twins tomorrow. Fark. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, dude. Useless says Hannibal ran in his army into the wilderness to see who would survive, and the toughest came out. Maybe the Angels, without sleep, will find the toughest Angels. We're talking about the Angels, Useless Trucker. Come on now. Dodd says exactly no reason why this game shouldn't have been played in a day. Exactly. This should have been a game I called off sick for. They have to leave from LAX due to being so late. Can't fly out of Long Beach or John Wayne. That sucks. Way to go, Artie. Get them boys some Red Bulls and some old 1986 Mets powder. The cocaine. Cocaine. Chubb says the supplier is Ron Washington.
We're going to kill somebody else, I guess. Here we go. Jesus.
Marty says the saying of the night, the early leaving from the game has been lifted. So we're so back.
Yeah, the captain says so.
Yeah, Trout too. We're so back. Matt says, woke up from a good nap. He says to hear my bros talking Angels winning. Love it. He must have
get used to it, pal.
Hey, Randy, he was asleep since Monday. Rally Chris says, did you have sex, Trout, like Papa Fox always says you have too much sex? Rally Chris is like, I know what it is to have too much sex. Tyler says Soler is looking lost. Yeah, he's not good. Marty says Trout's attempted to make that catch look like the catch of the year to give him a chance to be a Golden Glover. We're so back. Chris Cruz says, good seeing you at the game tonight. Yes, same here. Chris was there. Also, Andrew Firk says, we all talk shit on Host Boy, but we listen to him. Exactly. Because there's nothing else on. And I like laughing at times because he's like, don't worry, this team's going to be much better. You know, don't worry about the hitting. Let's talk about how Kwanowitz gave up 2 runs on 8 hits, but, suffered the loss, but still pitched good enough to don't worry about the hitting. Now let's talk Lakers basketball. Andrew Firk says, can we put Nolan or Louis in the leadoff spot? Nolan's already been tried. He's too slow. I think he's perfect for where he's at. But I would venture with Louis right there. Mateo jumps in with another super sticker as he likes to spritz. And case in point, I spritzed all over the house when we won. I didn't even see that one coming. Silent. That's what she said. Silent E says, oh my God, they actually adjusted. They didn't swing all for the fences. Even the home runs, they were nice, clean swings and prioritizing contact. And look what happened. Hits, spritz, Q Lombardi.
What the hell's going on out here?
Wilbur is him. He sure is, Tyler.
And I got to play this for old Wilbur. We're so back.
I know Gooby was up there like, hey, get that guy off the TV. Hey.
Hey, everybody's favorite, Big 20.
Oh, Big 20. Mr. He became a man. Light that baby up.
When
he can't even talk. He wet his whistle. That's what he did.
Sure
He wet. Chris Cruz says the short turnaround time for the Angels is going to hurt the team tomorrow. I do wish today's game started at 4 p.m., but already claimed that he would not make enough money. Yeah, and this fool's worth $1 million. Yeah, right. Dan says, I miss Stukas, had to DoorDash. I need money to pay for the new truck I bought. Ooh, that sounds like a personal problem, but you know what? Since it's Dan Rios, Randy, I think we can give him an extra one.
I think we can.
I love you, Mateo, but why are you trying to get me pantless? A lot of it's like
you blame him.
They want to put me on a bicycle in a thong with no seat. At least
going down Catella, baby.
Yeah. At least we know Jansen is still on the damn team. Exactly. Jack on TikTok says good win. Hopefully brings momentum versus the Twins. Bats finally got a little bit going here tonight. Need to limit those strikeouts. Timmer 20 says, just got home. It was good to meet you. Good to meet you too, my brother. Andrew says, you need Robbie from Long Beach soundbite. Which one is that one? That's probably coming from like the Rome show. Dan says, in your opinion, is Paris trying too hard? Yes.
Yep.
Yes. And yes. Right, Randy?
Like a son of a bitch.
He sure is. 1 for 26. So, dude
that
is.
Doesn't say I'm pressing. Nothing was.
And that's the problem. We don't have anybody to back him up.
Yep.
And it would be nice to have someone to kind of give him a break, but we really don't have anybody.
That'd be great if Shanwell, came out of his shell and just started, fucking hitting. But, beggars can't be choosers, I guess.
That is true. Yep. Because at this point, let's just say number 6 was in the lineup right now before he went on his IL stint. You would be able to say, okay, we're going to play number 6 at third and put Renifo at second or short with Neto, and you can give homeboy a day off and he can become your 4th infielder until he gets his mojo back.
Yeah.
But you can't do that. Eric Ward says, glad we got the win, but fuck, it was ugly. We're talking nah. Also, Grimmaster says pitching matchups, Kyle Hendricks versus Pablo Lopez, Yakuchi versus Simeon Woods Richardson. And then in game 3, Soriano, John Ryan. I like that matchup because I think Soriano pitches better on the road. Paris always swings from his balls. He needs to shorten up his swing. He sure does, dude. He sure does. Rendon is out for the season. Laughed my ass off. I have no idea. Well, yeah, I mean, he's gone. I'm just saying hypothetically. Silent E says so many managers, GMs, and coaching staffs in the last 7 years since Mike's been fired. It's no wonder why there's no culture, building culture. It doesn't happen overnight. It does take time. Gerard says, if we get Zeph for Luis Garcia, who are we going to get for Kenley Jesus? Dude, I don't know. I mean, Zeph was a nice pickup, dude. I don't know. I mean, you got to think if this team is around 500, they're still going to trade him unless they're close to a spot. You would think they would have to. I think him and Anderson have to be traded from this team if you want to help build the future, because they did get a couple good arms from Philly and other trades last year. So, it will help. Gerard says, Wash don't like cocaine. He just likes the way it smells. Hey, just a little taste.
She was going to bed, but she heard Hiti Titties was live. Boo Boo Bear's mommy is back.
Oh, wow. Artie wants to be sure the guys lose. Why should he care about this team? Sounds like Major League to me, Boo Boo Bear's mommy.
Yeah.
Also, Mateo says, do Wayne and Gooby fly on the team separately? No, they actually fly with the team. But Wayne, if you remember, he's coming there Saturday. He's actually got the the Amazon game?
Wait, they're not locked in a booth on road games no more?
No, they actually travel with a team. It's Terry Smith and Mark Langston who are like, hey, wow, look at this weather out here in Texas. As we just want to remind you, we're televising the game or recording the game from the studios in Anaheim, aka the van. Jack says, would you say we're good enough to fight for a playoff spot? No. I think getting to 81 and 81 would be great unless this team went on a hell of a roll against all odds, but they would need a little bit more pitching. They don't have enough starting pitching for sure. Speaking of the leadoff hitter topic, why the fuck did manager not on coke put Soler in a spot? He has no speed, can't bunt, and swings at every fucking pitch. Makes no sense. Exactly. I don't know what he's talking about. We were too tired on the flight to Minnesota. That's why we lost Washington. So he's saving him a statement for tomorrow. Thank you, sirs. And again, Randy, well done on the Stukas. It's bitchin'.
Thank you, sir.
Yep, he tips his cap. If they lose tomorrow, it's on Artie. If they win, it's the players. Yes,
Facts.
I agree. Straight facts right there.
I'll die on that hill.
There you go. Also, what do you call cheese that's not... Moving on. I don't think we fire Ron since it's Perry's guy. Is it Perry's guy? I don't know. I don't know about that. Wayne is on the Apple TV game. Oh, yeah, we get Patrick O'Neill. Texas Rangers Clubhouse says, hey, y'all, what's up? He was a great interview over there when we did the Texas series. I got to get him. That was
a good show.
Yeah, I got to get him on one of these lives here. On TikTok, Gooey says, who would have thought that Soriano would be struggling and Kikuchi killing it? Soriano hasn't been struggling. He had really just one bad game, Jack says. Fuck another patio night. He sucks balls. He's like, hey, that was a good goal there by the Kings. I mean, the Angels got a home run there. Hey. It's like, shut up, dude. Mike Trout says, don't blame Artie. It's not his fault. The players can't swing. He doesn't play the game. Oh, geez. It's only because he's giving you what? $500 million? Is that your contract, Mike? I forgot how much his contract is. It's ridiculous either way. I would rather have Matty V, to be honest. What happened to Matty V? Did he get fired or whatever? Or did he move on, go back to MLB Network?
Wouldn't you?
Good point. John says, are you ready for the Angels collapse? It's already here. It already
started like a week ago, buddy.
Well, you're late to the party. Is StreamYard open?
He's wanting a link there, Toddy.
Oh, I see. I don't know if we have anyone available tonight. It's a little late. It's a Thursday. We'll have someone call in on Friday, Saturday, and or Sunday. Unless our boy that was just in on here from the Texas Rangers wants to jump in. I might throw that up there. It's your boy says, what's the first thing you would do if you became the owner for a day? Get rid of the whole entire offense or the office, cleanse the whole coaching staff throughout the organization. What would you do?
Yes.
Okay. So what I would do is the first thing is I would get someone to come down to appraise the stadium and find out exactly what it needs to be renovated, to be, give me someone that could plan the stadium's upkeep and, renovation. Then the second thing I would do is pretty much fire all the nerds, the analytic crew. I would fire fire them myself, actually, the training staff. I would fire, basically the only people I would keep in this organization is the ushers. They've done no wrong. They've tried their best to be as friendly to the fans as possible. So I would keep them. And then I would just tell Wayne and Gooby once the season would start that, hey, there's no script here. Call the game as you see it. Please don't focus on stupid shit. And then I would fire Rodger Lodge with a smile on my face and get a legitimate person that's going to call this sucker down the middle. And then I would pay big time money for advanced scouting, for training staff. I would build a new facility here, not just in Arizona. I would spend a lot because obviously you buy the team, you take over. I'd just hire baseball minds and the right kind of coaching staff. Like if you're going to hire a pitcher, do what the Dodgers did. Pitching coach, hire Mark Pryor, worked out for them. Hire a former pitcher that wants to not only, give his knowledge and tutelage to these players. There's a million things I would do, man, but it would take me time. I couldn't just go in there and take care of everything in one day, but it may not be in that order, but it's basically just revamping this entire franchise. There's so much to do that needs to be fixed.
Yep.
Yeah. So I tried to explain it, but also Jack says, do we know how long we have Wayne for? No, I don't know, but if he's back this season, they liked him because they were firing announcers too pretty quick. So Silent E says, I would love to see this team succeed, but at this point of me doesn't want to see this team actually win because Artie's cheap ass is out the door. He would be front and center, deserving no credit. Yeah, that's true. He would be front and center if this team were winning. We've seen it before. Itchy Boy says season collapse happened the moment the season started. I'm late to the party. Don't follow them anymore. Oh, come on, John. Come back to the Angels. You want to. It's like, you know what, Randy? That sounds like me trying to encourage a former alcoholic to drink again. Just have one. It's okay.
You dick.
I won't kill you. Maybe two, but just start with one. Eric says calling games for the Angels is about as appealing as eating marsh. Oh,
I'd much rather do the latter.
You need a ladder to get to it, though.
Ooh, yummy.
Guinness says Neto saved my life. Damn. Don Hammond says Moncada should be back any day now. It's been almost 2 weeks. Yeah, that's a guy that could play some infield. That would help out. Can he hit, though, is the other thing. We can have a priest give a blessing to the stadium. Sage the whole thing. The ushers are so wholesome for no reason. Legit, them and the stadium workers have been the only consistent thing. That is true. Why does Trent Rush act like we won a playoff game? Because he's full of shit. He's like, hey, what a win tonight. And then you're like, but Trent, they lost the first two. Hey, what a win tonight. This was a good win tonight. Eric Ward says, fire the whole organization, Q Bally's. Guinness says, how many beers tonight was needed to watch the game? I actually work tomorrow, so I didn't have any beer. So imagine that. I got through the game without beer. Silent East says, fire the concessions people for not putting enough meat or cheese in the helmet nachos and having a good attitude when you ask. Can I get some more meat? No, but
no meat for you.
You look nice, though. That's what they say. I just checked. Matty V is still employed by the Angels. Well, then what's he doing besides?
Oh, he must got that Rendon contract. Plenty of vacation time.
That must be. Whenever the season gets rough, and it will at some point, we need another grill master and Artie vent session like we've had in the past. Yeah, Artie can talk.
The new video vent session.
That's on the OnlyFans page. So
no, that's me. I'm getting the ones that matter.
Oh, now we got Kawhi Leonard saying Todd's skipping comments. It's not me. I'm not in control. So if I'm
Kawhi, me.
Jack says, can't lie, though. This team looks more hyped and Trout's showing a lot more emotion. He is, but we need some more hits out of that dude. That's for damn sure. Wednesday Otani bobblehead night, Andrew says. Yeah, it's going to be a bobblehead of him holding his dog in one hand and a newborn baby still with the umbilical cord on the left. Mateo says, Todd as owner, me as manager, Ace as hitting coach, Randy as bench coach. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'll curse some little bastards out.
That might not go over good. The Angels should run fast and then turn left unless skipping right to the airplane. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Reference. No, there's not. There's no spider behind me. God damn it. These guys. Is anyone convinced the Angel Stadium is on? No, I know their minor league stadium might be. That might curse them.
Which one? Which one?
The one in Tempe.
Oh, no shit.
That's always been rumored that they built it on Indian burial ground. I don't know. Texas Rangers Clubhouse says, but did your Angels get walked off by some team from West Sacramento?
Just give it some time. We'll get there.
Yeah, we haven't played the A's yet, so sorry. Plus, his Rangers just put the greatest hitter of all time on the IL, which was Seager. So, yeah. If he wants to get on. If not, we'll have him on in another time because he is a very good interview. I'd love to be on his show too. That's for sure. He's talks some Angels baseball. It's about jeez. I'm not even going to read that. I'm not going to read that one. Gooey says A's will spank us, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, they might. It seems like the teams with the most players you can't recognize beat the shit out of the Angels. That's what usually happens. JD Davis is active. Won't freaking play him for some reason. My fellow Cal State Fullerton Titan already. Yeah. I've got 5 if you want. Yeah, let me throw out the invite real quick then.
We are officially caught up on comments.
We are? Okay, cool. Let me put that right here in the comment. And then boom. We should be good. So if you want to jump in, just hit that link and then you can come in. We'll give you we'll do a good 5 to 10 minutes too, because I've got to go to sleep here pretty soon. It's 11:15 and I got to get up by 5. So not looking forward to that. Here's Jeff Bates, man. How are you doing, sir?
Man, I'm doing horrible. Thanks for asking. How are you?
I'm all right, man. I mean, we got to win. It's something to cheer about.
We had a win and we gave it away. You guys are Angels fans. You probably didn't watch. Leody Tavares decided to look down at nothing. Ball goes by, and tell you, you're talking about your Angels. The A's are coming. They've got a lineup that is stacked full of prospects and studs. And today they really pissed me off because I thought we had a win and we let it go. DeGrom pitches as good as he does, and we don't get a win. That's not the way to win the West.
No, it's not. And I think with the A's, they're going to be that wild card team, not as far as a wild card spot, but they're going to be a team that's just going to be a thorn in your side.
Yeah.
Because of all those unknown players, because they're going to be hitting peaks and valleys too. So sometimes you might get them on a 3-hit shutout, or sometimes you might get them and they get 13 to 15 hits.
I'll tell you, Todd, they're not going to be unknown for long. I mean, they bring up Kurtz. They don't even have a spot for him. Soderstrom's leading the league in home runs, but they bring up a first baseman who can't play anywhere else because that's how good he is. Wilson's a stud.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, their whole lineup, other than maybe Urias at second, and who's their third baseman? Urshela. The rest of them are all like freaking top-notch prospects. So, Eric, I love you too. Anyway.
You're not going to get too much love on here for sure.
Hold on. Should I stream this to my audience just to see everybody hate me?
You can. Go for it.
I'll do it right now. Hold on.
By the way, what's the arcade game in the background?
What's it? Oh, I got Defender. It's a few games, but when I was 9, I was in love with Defender. And that one's got like, I don't know. It's one of those ones that you buy at Walmart and it's got like 12 games or whatever. But I only ever played. I don't even know what the other games are. But I loved Defender when I was a kid.
That's pretty cool, man.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
I mean, the A's are getting right around that where they're going to get good again. You know, they go through that couple years spell where they're kind of rebuilding, and then all of a sudden they're back, baby.
So how come you have 2 voices? You're freaking me out.
Oh, that's Randy. That's a producer on there.
Producer, baby.
Randy, the producer.
Voice of God.
Here, what do I put here for my people? Follow me yelling at. Oh, how do I do this? At Angels fans. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Or fighting with Angel fans.
But yeah, fighting with. Oh, jeez, hold on.
We brought on another guy from Seattle one time. He's a Mariners fan, so he was talking Mariners baseball. That didn't go over well either. But we're not that rude on here.
I could tolerate a Texas Ranger fan a lot more than I can a sorry ass Seattle Mariners.
I would hope so.
My God, they're trash.
It doesn't rain here every day, right? Yeah, I don't know. I'll probably get some hate, but I don't.
By the way, the player you brought up, Kurtz, did you see the memo?
No, what
about how they can't really say his name in a certain way because it sounds.
I did see that. It took me like 3 times. I'm like, wait, what?
It sounds like a bad skit, but it's hilarious.
Oh, yeah, and Gallagher was good. Dan, okay. There's 1 Angels fan, 2 Angels fans I like now.
Yeah.
2.5. The voice from behind the curtain scares me because do you have like those monkeys like in Wizard of Oz too? Because I'm out if you got.
No, I don't have that. I don't have that.
I don't like the voice in the back, but whatever. I'll do it at half. I missed the Hooter spot. I remember the Hooter spot. 2 feet away from the ballpark, you had Hooters. It was great for the Angels but they sucked, and Hooters had beer, so it was a win.
Well, Hooters is gone now. They tried a taco place there. Artie, we actually partnered with this wing place called Mezzo's, and it was pretty good. But they featured calzones, which is usually like a secondary thing. You don't want to have that as your mainstay. But anyway, it was good food, but that whole area had a plumbing issue, and they were having grease coming through their toilets. So it closed down the restaurant several times to where they were like, hey, you know what? We're taking too many losses here. And they just cut out.
You don't want bad plumbing at a taco calzone place.
You don't.
So yeah, Hooters has gone everywhere, right? Like, aren't they down to like 10 in the whole world now or something? Didn't they go bankrupt? I think I saw.
Yeah, they did the whole Blockbuster thing. So, once a staple, now gone. I mean, we had this place over here too called what was it? Tilted Kilt. It was pretty good too.
I have fallen in love in the Tilted Kilt a few nights.
That's gone as well, dude.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's
I love all
unfortunate.
your love in the chat. Yeah, I mean he's my favorite, except for he's on the IL. So what do you do?
Yeah, and both Seagers hated the Angels. Gooey brings up a good point right there. Corey Seager and what was his brother from
Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle. Dude, God, those guys, they're always a thorn in our side, man, for sure.
Matt Growmaster. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, he was good. Wasn't Corey, but he was good.
Yeah. So far into the season, obviously Seager's on the IL now. Yeah. He was probably getting into a good rhythm right now. Do you see the Rangers? Obviously they have a good record. I think you guys are 3 games up on us or something like that. What's your record right now?
We would be 1 ahead of Seattle. I think 2 Houston, 3 you guys. I mean, I'm not looking at anything. I think that's
okay. Let me see, because let's see standings right now. As of right now, you guys are 14 and 11.
Okay, is that 1 up on Seattle, 2 Houston?
Half up on Houston and a game and a half up on us.
Okay. Jack asked about it. He was running the first. He pulled up tight hammy. They said it was grade 1. They said 10 days is going to be the max, but yeah.
Yeah, he was just starting to get hot right there for the Rangers. And the Rangers, I mean, do you think that they're where you projected them to be this year at 14-11?
Yeah, I would say so. I picked them to win the West, but how they've got there is not how I expected. I thought it would be the offense leading the way, and I wasn't as worried about the bullpen as most of Ranger Nation was. I like the arms. They're not big names, but I like the arms. I still like the arms. I didn't believe necessarily in the pitching as much. Now, I thought DeGrom might have a real nice year, and he will, and he is. Malley's been the biggest surprise. Jack Leiter. I love Jack Leiter. He's injured right now. He should be back, I think, this week, maybe even for this weekend with the Giants. And I love Jack Leiter, but Kumar I thought was very overblown. I think long-term he's going to be a great pitcher, but I think he's a year ahead of where he should be. Malley, I mean, I know he was good. I don't know, what was it, 4 years ago now, 3 years ago? But I didn't expect him to be this good, and I don't know that I'd still expect him to be this good. But losing Bradford and losing Gray and having Corbin pitch as well as he has, having the starting pitcher being the reason that we're in first place wasn't on anyone's bingo card, that's for sure. I love Jock Peterson. I unapologetically Ranger Nation wants to cut him. In my chat, I went live today for the NFL draft and the Ranger Ace game, and I had probably 6 people say DFA Leote and DFA Jock. Those are both stupid. I mean, Leote is a harder argument, but Jock, I mean, he's 0 for April. It's been pretty ugly. He even got the hit yesterday off of Miller and tried to turn it into a thrown out at second, which would really have flipped out Ranger Nation or whatever. But I love Jock. I've loved Jock since he was a Dodger. I'm actually not trying to get the Angels fans to like me, but I'm from Southern California originally, and got the heck out of there as soon as I could, though. People, you're not trees. Move. But anyway.
He's going to get it together for you guys. I know he will.
He will give us 3 weeks or a month of awesome, and it'll help us win the West.
Yeah. And there's no way he's going to be batting like, whatever he is. He'll get up to about 250, 260.
The average isn't what you want, Jock. He's going to go on a tear against righties. He's going to doubles and home runs, and it'll be.
Yeah, and I think right now when you brought up Malawi or whatever, I can never say his name right. Dude's been pitching out of this world. I mean, he's really – he's got a sub 1?
Yeah, I think it's the best in the AL, maybe in the league. It's a high fastball, has been untouchable. I don't really know. Oh, Eric, see, now you're going to get me to be mad. All my Rangers fans that like me will hate me if I give you the true answer. Can I lie? After midnight, I can lie, right? I love Ron Washington, the man, even though he's done some stuff. I think the coach is a great coach. I think as a manager, he drove me crazy. I'm just going to be real. And Rangers fans love him. You don't have to go by the book. You don't have to be the stats guy. You don't have to be he seems stupid. I know he's not. He's a great coach. Everybody loves him. I think he's the infielder whisperer, unless you're Anthony Rendon. Yeah, I said that. But I think he's a better coach than a manager, and I think he will not be the manager of the Angels next year.
Jeff, voice of God here.
I got freaking me out again. There you go.
Now, when you look at Ron Washington coaching for the Angels, do you see the same skipper that you saw with the Texas Rangers, or do you see someone different?
I see the same guy. I see the same guy, a little older, which is hard to say because he looked like he was 300 when he left here. But
then I can see how he drove you guys nuts.
I mean, I'm on an island with the Ranger fans. Rangers fans love him. I got some video of him. A buddy of mine, I saw Ray Davis, the owner of the Rangers, when the Angels were in town. She's an autograph bound. I said, "Hey, go get Davies," because she would want him on a ball. And it was him, Washington, that was talking to him. And so I don't want to talk crap about Washington too much. I actually love the guy as a person. I love him as a coach. Would I want him as my manager? No, I would not. Would I want him as my coach? Yeah, I don't think he takes crap from the players. I think he'll work them. I think his infield drills are still. They make really good players elite, and that's just what the players say. And I believe players tell the truth about coaches now because they don't need to. And so I think he's a great coach. I don't want to talk too much crap, but I think his in-game management when he was a Rangers manager made me insane.
Well, see, I think that's where we're on the same level as
really?
Fans. Yeah, because we're not liking that so far. We're not liking the lineups. Like they're putting Soler at leadoff, and Soler can't hit for shit right now at leadoff.
I thought his lineups, his handling of the in-game decisions. I thought Ranger fans. Man, maybe I shouldn't have shade their. I don't know. Is anybody watching on my channel? I hope not. I thought Rangers fans were delusional about how they felt about Ron Washington at the end, and I wasn't happy he left because I was sad. It was a family thing, and I don't know if you guys know the details, and it doesn't really matter. But yeah, and it's sad, and it makes me sad. But I'm glad he's back in the game. I always thought he was a great coach. Yeah, what J Dog said exactly.
Let's see. Sometimes in the comments they say what we can't say, or they say it just better, more eloquently. So
yeah, right.
Yeah,
in 7 words. I said nothing, and he said it in 4 perfectly.
And Eric says it right there too. I mean, like Soler gave you nothing before this to say, hey, maybe we should try him at leadoff. And then we were getting tired of Taylor Ward at leadoff. He's just got an uppercut swing.
Yeah.
It's home run or nothing. That's not a prototypical guy. He's not fast. He doesn't work walks. He swings first pitch on most of the time. And then you're putting up a guy who swings at everything at leadoff.
So I don't mind a power hitter, even as long as he doesn't clog the bases. I mean, Jock Peterson has hit. Not that I want him doing this for the Rangers, but he's hitting the leadoff spot more than anywhere else in his career. I think I read just the other day. So I don't mind. I mean, Shohei, obviously he flies, so maybe that's a bad example too, but I don't mind if he's a really good hitter, not being a speedster. I mean, Ricky Henderson's not a ball player anymore. He's not even alive anymore. It's not that kind of world anymore. I think the way to do a lineup is a little more best hitter hit first, worst hitter hit last. And, just do the math of, it's 40 more at bats over 162 game season every step down the line. And
but if your best hitter
makes a lot of sense though.
But if your best hitter is like a Mike Trout where he's an all or nothing guy, wouldn't you want him more of in a traditional spot, maybe having like a guy who's a high on base guy to flip the lineup at 9-1 to maybe?
Do you want Trout to have more at bats than Moncada or I mean, who's your 3 hitter? Who's your 1 hitter? I mean, I don't know your lineup well enough, but who's, Neto? I mean, I actually like Neto. That's not fair.
Yeah, we got Neto right now in the 2nd spot, but a guy like Louis Renifo, he, most of his at bats, they're 2-ball 2 counts, or they're 3-2. He works, even if he strikes out, he works the count every time. I think he's a perfect leadoff hitter.
Yeah, it's hard to argue. I mean, off the top of my head, Trout looks like he could be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. But I would not have a good argument for not putting Trout 1. But you've got some other guys that fit there well too. I mean, where do you think Trout should be? He's either 1 or 2 or 3. Right?
I think right now, the way that they're all hitting, I would like to have Trout in the 4 or 5, and then slide O'Hoppe down a little bit before him.
I can't agree with that. If you're hitting him 5, you're losing like 100 ABs a year if he's healthy.
But right now, we're racking up them strikeouts. That's the problem, you know.
But he's still the straw that's going to stir you guys. I mean, I like your first baseman. I like Neto, but none of them are Trout.
True, but they're getting better. That's the thing. Like they're still like they're taking more pitches. You know, like they're. Yeah.
I think what I'm hearing you say is you want to see a more a plan for the development as it relates to the batting order. Is that what
that has a little bit to do with it, and then also contact. I mean, we're putting Trout in a position to where he could drive in some runners with guys who are ahead of him, but when we do that, we're coming up on the short end of the stick most of the time because he's swinging wildly, and that's why Taylor Ward can go on a roll for about a week or two, and then he's god awful for a week or two.
Yeah.
So I think guys like him should be down in 6, 7. I think Trout should be right where O'Hoppe is right now. Maybe put your hotter hitters like Neto, O'Hoppe, Shawnewill in those 2 to 4 spots. That's just my opinion on it.
Yeah, well, I love those 3 that you mentioned, Neto and your first baseman and your catcher. They're I mean, shoot, your catcher might be an MVP sometime. That might be pushing a little bit, but he's really good. I don't know. I think not having Trout in the top 3 sounds crazy, but I hear you. Yeah, I mean, like, it's not that I'm disagreeing with you too. It's just that the thing is, like, if you have, I think for me, it's always been like, maybe because my football team preached, hey man, you got to earn your spot. Like it's sort of like that with me in baseball. I know he's had a great career and he's a future Hall of Famer, but at some point, if they're not where they're supposed to be, hey, that's totally fair. But you're comparing him to who here? I mean, O'Hoppe and Neto and Shawnewill, but Trout's still their best of those 3. Of those, 4.
Yeah, talent wise, yeah,
and production wise, almost assuredly, he'll be the best or maybe the second best if he's healthy this year, right? Like almost assuredly. I mean, maybe his average isn't going to be what you want it to be, but he's still strong base runner. He's still going to hit a lot of home runs. I mean, he's in the top 10 in the league in home runs right now, right? Maybe in the top 5. I don't know. I think for me, he's your 1 or your 2 or your 3 hitter.
But that's kind of been the big if the last couple of years is, can he stay healthy?
Well, sure. Yeah. I mean, more reason to hit him early and often because you're not.
That's a fair point.
I guess, I mean, maybe I'm putting words in your mouth, Todd. I don't want to do that. But if you're looking at developing your young guys and getting them ABs and giving them positions to win and fail in, so in 2026 and 2027, it matters. That I hear you. Trout's likely not going to be on the roster the next time you guys go Rangers. Yeah, baby. I know I like you, Gio. Now I forgot what I was going to say. I got so excited. No, I think it's probably unlikely that he's on your roster the next time you make the playoffs. Unless he wants to retire there and stays more than 2 or 3 years. But I don't know. I don't know what his longevity is going to be, and I don't know what his effectiveness is going to be. And I don't know that he's the kind of guy who's ever going to say, hey, trade me. But if he's going to, it's coming pretty soon. Right.
I don't know. He'd have to up his game. I mean, he can't be batting less than 200. He's got to get back to like at least 250, 260 Mike Trout. He's got to take some walks.
I think that the Angels eat a whole big part of that contract or he doesn't go anywhere, which I think is what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely. And the thing is, too, with our team right now, I don't know, have you been following the last few games, but basically in the last 7 games to 8 games almost, we have like 5 walks generated.
Wow. No, I didn't know that.
So and tonight we only got 1. And so it's been very poor. We need to take more pitches. I think we have too many guys that are just trying to hit the ball over the fence. And I'm more old school too. I mean, I like the contact. I know the game has changed, but it just seems like the Angels are a little too much aggressive and preaching launch angle and velo and all that stuff. That's all they ever talk about during the games. Yeah, there's not. I get jealous. I mean, watching the Pirates, literally in 3 games, we got out hit 39-13.
But is that your announcers or is that the ball team?
I'm right now. I'm almost assured it's both because the announcers are. We've talked to a former broadcaster before the current guy, and he was saying that they gave him a script when the whole opener thing was a thing in baseball.
Who's they?
Well, I'm trying. What's his name? Randy. Who was the announcer before? Victor Rojas. He was with your organization. He went down there to run the I think a AAA affiliate or AA affiliate for you guys. He was a general manager, but anyway, he was our announcer, and he said he has a podcast now, like everybody else, and he says, "Hey, they gave me a script and Gubazaw to talk about the opener, to say how good it was for the Angels to have an opener, and really push that all through the season." And I'm kind of seeing the same thing with the velo, launch angle, StatCast, and they really value how fast the ball leaves the bat. So,
well, that I think the opener thing is probably a stretch, but velocity off the bat is pretty much everything. I mean, your bat speed and how hard you're hitting the balls. If you hit it hard, you're gonna get hits. If you don't hit it hard, you're not getting hits. So that's just
the thing I was talking about the other day though with the Pirates. So they out hit us 39-13. They had in those 39 hits, they had 4 home runs. The rest were dinks and dunks. I mean, they were even Gooby was like, "Hey, the ball came off the bat at about 40 miles per hour." It's like they were just flares and stuff, and it's just they hit it where we weren't. And their only problem, like they should have killed us 50 runs in those 3 games, but their problem is when they got guys on base, which they had on all 3 games, almost every inning it seemed, even with walks, is our pitching adjusted and bared down and got out of the inning. And they have a lot of trouble with runners in scoring position, the Pirates. Otherwise, they would have blasted us.
Team I know.
Well, to take a step back, I pulled up your lineup for tonight just so I could speak from, where you're at. Solaire's hitting 250, but he's not going to hit 250.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love him there because you've got guys like Trout and Ward, and is it Shawnuel? I don't know how to say his name.
Shawnuel, yes.
Even Adele, I would prefer there. He's got a lot of swing and miss, but he's got a lot of speed when he gets on base.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and Paris has dropped off of a cliff, but to me, he's like the 7th of the 9 guys you might put at 1. So I guess I do hate that the more I look at it. Because Neto, I love. I wouldn't mind him there. Trout, I like him there. I mean, you mentioned the Ward thing and, whatever. Hoppy, I wouldn't necessarily lead off with, but I could see him in your top 2, 3, 4 for sure. I mean, really, looking at the 9 that started today, he would be the last guy I would put in lead off now that I'm looking at it. But I've never loved Jorge Soler. I mean, he's got some big power and he had a great postseason, and it is what it is. And he's like Jock Peterson, but worse. I mean, he could have a nice run for you, but I don't know.
Yeah,
Jock, I don't like him.
He's done it before. Like for me tonight, if I was doing the lineup, I would flip Renifo for Soler and Shawnuel for Ward, and I'd leave it like that.
Yeah. I don't like. Why is Logan? Is it Logan? I don't know how I say that. Why is he 6?
They like him there for whatever reason.
You could just switch him in Soler, and I don't hate it. Really?
Well, he's 5 actually. Hoppy's 5.
Yeah. So your first baseman is hitting 6. You could put Soler in his spot and put. I mean, your first baseman's very patient, right? Like he takes a lot of walks.
Yes, I would like to see him behind, Trout. Because if Trout gets on base, it seems like if we need him to hit a flare or to fly ball, sacrifice, or move the runner over, he does it. He's a very good contact hitter, and he works walks.
Talk to me about Adele. Why is he not a plus WAR guy? If not, maybe a superstar is too much to ask for. But he was an early draft pick. He's insanely talented. What am I missing? Why is he not good yet?
I think we gave him the Brendan Marsh treatment. We called him up, sent him down, started him for a couple games just to sit him for a while he was hot in AAA instead of letting him marinate. Mm-hmm. We didn't work with his swing once they figured him out. It's kind of the same thing we're doing with Kyron Paris. We really yo-yoed Adele's, his options super quick.
You guys definitely are known around the league for bringing people up faster than most people expect. So
absolutely. People forget that Adele was a high school draft pick. So
yeah, and then we send them right back down.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he would literally was like the AAA player of the month. I mean, he was like on several times killing the ball down there, and then we bring him up and only just have him ride the pine for a week and only come in for defensive purposes. Like, what are we doing? Why did we call him up? Yeah. And his defense really struggled because of that. You know, so it took him a year. Last year was his best defensive year in the outfield, but he still couldn't hit for average. He was still struggling. He battled through like 3 injuries last year. So this year he's been healthy. I think the average will come up. He's having better at bats. He's just hitting it hard at people right now. He was robbed of like 3 hits in this series, 3 more hits.
Adele was well. When they moved him to center, obviously that was more about Trout than Adele. I get that, but it made me think, all right, they're ready to. Well, I mean, they've already committed to him, but to really say, hey, we believe in this guy. Center field's obviously a premium position, and you know, you want the Rangers don't have one, but you want a guy producing offensively out there too. So I really thought maybe this is the year for them, and I thought that doubly when they put him in center, but apparently that was just more about getting Trout off his feet. I don't know that you save that much. I get right. You only have to move to your left, where in center you got to play to the right and the left, but I don't know. What are your thoughts on the right field, center field thing for you guys?
I actually think they're making a mistake right now because Trout's a rookie in right field. He's already made like 3 or 4 errors. I don't know if you saw him spike the ball into the ground the other day.
It's about keeping him off his feet or making him work less hard, right? Isn't that? I mean, they're giving up a little.
Yeah, I mean, and Angel fans seem to think Soler can't field, and he's not. Granted, he's not the best outfielder, but have they seen Taylor Ward? Taylor Ward is a lazy outfielder. And Soler, I think, runs circles around him. I'd rather see Soler out there. He hasn't made an error in the games we put him in. And just make Trout your full-time DH, man. I think taking the pressure off of him, letting him just hit, because we've been hearing that Ron's having him out there early for games, practicing in the outfield. It's like, nah, dude, he needs to be practicing versus live pitching and batting cages.
I didn't realize Taylor Ward was so bad defensively. I mean,
yeah, he underthrows.
Honestly, it started when he ran into that wall a couple of years ago. Ever since then, he's kind of feels like he plays scared out there.
Yep.
Wow.
And he's got a noodle arm, dude. I mean,
so if you got Ward, he's as bad as you're saying. You got Adele, who's Adele, and then you got Trout and Wright, who's not going to be as good.
Yeah, Eric Ward right there. See that comment?
Yeah, that's rough. I mean, that's what we were tonight. I mean, just Leote, not all 3 of them, but we. I don't know if any of you saw it, but that defensive play in center field cost us the game today.
Yeah, and that's what can happen. I mean, like tonight we had another one too. Dell took a bad route to the ball, and he missed it. And like it wasn't necessary for him to dive, but he dove.
Yeah.
You know, the other day when we won that game against the Giants, the 2-run homer that put the Giants up late was because Adele banged into the wall, not judging where the ball was first.
That's also another thing that's kept him kind of down there in the minors. Is his defense. It's
really
not great. I mean, he will make some of the most egregious bonehead fucking decisions out there in the outfield. It's
that's
like,
annoying.
What are you doing
tonight for my Rangers? I mean, Wyatt Langford pop up. I even said F7 and I looked away. And it was the play was over in my head. And Wyatt runs forward to his right, and the ball was deep to his left. They score a run, and then in the 9th, Leote does it. So, I mean, I like Wyatt out defensively, but maybe it was in the lights. I don't know what happened. I don't care what happened. It was a fly. It's F7. It should have been a catch. And so our outfield defense 100% cost us this game. So that can be frustrating, but yeah.
Like J-Dog says right there, he turns doubles into triples. That, I mean, we've seen it to where he misses the cutoff man or he throws some of the laziest balls into the infielders.
Really? A little Johnny Damon out there?
Yes, big time. So, yeah. So who you guys got in this weekend? I didn't even see who you guys played.
Oh, we're going to San Francisco, who playing way above their head right now. So hopefully we'll get them down a little bit. I mean, they've been hot. Their record is amazing, and I guess the NL West has got 4 of the top 8 records in the league or something. So
that is going to be a tough slate for you guys up there. Because playing in San Francisco in that National League team or National League Stadium is going to be tough for any American League team. But damn, they're looking quite good. And you guys got Evaldi versus Verlander in Game 1. That's a good matchup right there.
It is. Well, and it's a hard ballpark whether you're facing an ace or not. and he's not an ace anymore, but I mean, it's still a big name. But our offense needs help. Like, I was really hoping West Sacramento was going to help us. Like, the pitching staff is bad, the stadium is bad, and we blasted. I mean, we had 4 home runs and we had 3 home runs tonight, but they were all solo home runs, and our defense was, it's not hockey playoff time. Our plus minus for our outfielders was pretty bad right now. But the bats are coming around. I don't know if that's the A's pitching and the stadium or our bats, but I guess we'll find out because San Francisco go to die.
Well, that's what they're talking about right here on my A's bias right there. He's telling even Urshela looked up, struggled with the ball. So
yeah,
it's a new stadium, a new feel for everybody right there. But dude, that game in San Francisco, the weather is going to be a little dicey, a little bit of light rain. So it might be a pitcher's duel right there because the ball won't be flying out of that ballpark.
Well, if it's not, we're in trouble because we're not scoring very many runs. I mean, when we hit 3 home runs and we score, 3 runs. So we're going to need pitching matchups.
Sounds like Gooey says ESPN has the Angels losing 59% to 40. Oh, you gotta love ESPN.
Gotta love the name Gooey.
Yeah, we have some interesting handles on here. We have we have someone that comments as Robot AIDS. So
okay.
Yeah,
don't forget old Chubbs McFrinkles.
Oh yeah, Chubbs McFrinkles.
Okay. Yeah, I wonder. So sometimes I say stuff and I'm like, oh, I should have read that before I said it out loud.
Yeah, I'm like that too. I'm the Ron Burgundy on here because I like to go through all the comments. I start reading them. And there's like a stupid joke in the end of it, and I'm like, I had to stop real quick.
I've been there.
So tell the fans here a little bit about your show real quick because It's probably getting late right there in Texas.
Yeah, I am ready to go to bed. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty tired. I was live over 5 hours today with the draft and the game. That was probably not my smartest decision. My name's Jeff. I'm at Jeff Bates on X. I post over on YouTube and X the most. Love my Rangers. Former Dodger fan, rehabilitated when I moved to Texas. Yes, I'm one of those Californians who left California and moved to Texas. All of you should be that person too, so come on over.
I'm jealous.
Except for the summer sucks. It's so freaking hot out here. It's so hot. I do miss Orange County a lot. And mostly that's about the girls, but that's a whole other thing. Yeah, I'm Jeff. I go live during the games a lot. I love baseball. I love football. I'm a Dodgers fan. Vintage wise, I still collect old Dodger stuff, but I live in the Dallas area and I go to Rangers games all the time. And I don't know what else to say, but yeah, if you don't hate me yet, subscribe to my channel. It'd be fun. It's free today.
Well, we got a lot of good feedback when you did the podcast with me and Fernando, Jeff.
Good.
A lot of people liked your energy and your knowledge on the game, so they didn't hate. Usually, we'll bring on people from other teams.
I'll try harder.
See, so there you go, right there. We do have a lot of Angel fans in Texas too. So
I know quite a few actually. Oh, I can't. So I was born Ocean View. I'm talking to you. I was born in West Covina, California. Lived there till I was 4, but I lived out in San Diego, San Marcos, if you really want to know.
There you go.
So what, 2011? Hard to look you in the eye. I know. So I'm a Texas Rangers fan and a Dodger fan, and I haven't pissed off the Angels fans. What is wrong? I need to try harder. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate it. If you don't hate it, hit the subscribe button. If you do hate it, blame Todd. I don't know.
Yeah, always blame Todd. All right, Jeff. Well, I appreciate you coming on and everybody on this ungodly hour of 11:45 here.
What
West
time
Coast.
is it? That's not what time it is here. It's time to go to bed. What time?
Yeah, I got work in the morning, but Jeff, we got to do this again soon, especially when the Angels play the Rangers again.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got to get you over on my deal. I mean, I'm happy to come on here anytime you want, but I owe you a couple now, so we'll work it out. I'll bug you.
Rock on. We'll do it, my man. Have a good evening, Jeff.
Good seeing everybody. Take care, guys.
You.
See you, Jeff.
Yep.
That's Jeff right there as we get to the end of the show. Once again, the Angels pull out 1 against the Pittsburgh Pirates and win 4-3 on a Zach Neto home run. He is your winner of the Golden Stamos. The Nacho Night Award goes unfairly to Kebron Hayes. I just had to find someone to give it to. Besides that, I appreciate everyone's comments in the chat, everyone hanging with us till almost midnight. And we'll be back on here tomorrow. Hopefully the Angels can find a way to get hooked up on, like some of you said, some that white powder to get through the day. Well, hopefully not, but just take some energy drinks and let's beat the Twinkies tomorrow. Any final thoughts, Randy?
Just like you said, just beat the fucking Twinkies. 2 out of 3 Rally Chris special. That's all I'm asking.
Yes, I love it, Randy. Love the optimism. Love it. Play us out, my man. Have a good night.
All righty. There's only one way to go.